Hello, Global Theater. My name is Gerry Fialka. Today is August 23, 2025. Want to thank Rob Grant and his amazing podcast, I'm Probably Wrong About Everything. Please subscribe. Also want to thank the media ecology world for introducing me to Faby. Faby, please pronounce your whole name.
Yes, my name is Fabiola Ballarati Chechetto, but you can
That
call
is,
me Faby, all right?
that is the coolest name. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from the Tropic of Capricorn, São Paulo, Brazil, South America, in the Cambuci block.
Wow, how cool.
Yeah.
And so, first question, Faby, it's really great to have you here. What is the best thing for a human being?
I would say coconut mango slush. Oh, no, just kidding. Because I read that in a book of Paul Levinson, coconut mango slush, and I was amazed about that because it looks like delicious, but I never tasted that. But okay, just kidding. I think the best thing to the human being can be to make question the
Yeah.
doubting. I think this is a evolutionary way to approach the world. So make questions, I think.
Really good. Great answer. I never get it. That's my favorite answer ever. That's what I'm after. That's why my book's called Strange Questions.
Oh, I never read that.
I'm gonna send you a PDF of it. But to go back to your first thing, I don't think when people go, I'm just kidding, I go, there's no such thing as kidding. you said
serious? Oh.
Yeah, no, yeah, there is, but you said coconut mango mush, MUSH?
No, slush.
Oh, slush, like a drink.
Yes, like a drink, because I read in a book and I saw in internet and I thought, wow, that's an amazing thing to taste. I have to do that as lushy because here in Brazil we don't have that kind of thing. Yes, we have many others, but this one, no.
It's beautiful. What's your favorite form of information? How it comes into you?
With my senses.
Yeah.
With my senses, my 5, 6, 7 senses. I know that is not so good sometimes because the senses pretend us about reality, but I don't think about information as an object or a package of texts and images, but sensations, intensity, and non-verbal things too, especially. I think so. I don't read. Yes, I read newspapers online and in paperback, but I think the before that, my senses are the way to get the best information.
Yeah, I agree. It's sensory perception, really good. But just to sidetrack for a second, did you become a reader, one, because your parents told you to, two, they did it as an example, or three, on your own?
I'm not a very great reader, I have to confess that. But I think I became a good reader after my old age. When I did the PhD, it was amazing because before my parents, my father read a lot and encouraged me to do that, but I was very lazy and I loved to play with video games in the 80s. So I never do that really in a serious way. So by my own, when I feel the necessity, because I worked with a great mentor advisor called Lucrecia Ferrara, that she is practically Alexandra's library. Her mind is amazing. So to get in that level, to dialogue with her, this necessity makes me search some reading. Yeah.
Very good. Mother is the necessity of invention. So that was beautiful. You're concise and articulate. I really appreciate it. And the next question is, why do you think humans collect or gather information?
I collected a lot of information, many kind objects, so texts, books. I think people gather information to deny the time, to deny the death, to yeah.
Where did you get that? I get that answer very rarely, but to deny death. Where did you get that from? Where did that come from, you think?
Maybe in television.
Huh?
Maybe in television, someone
Television. Wow.
Yeah.
Why did you grow up watching TV?
Yes, so much. Yes, so much. Yes. You can judge me about that. Okay, it's okay.
I'm not judging you. I'm an idiot. I grew up. I don't know how to read. I just act like I can read. I was raised in front of a TV.
I grew up with many dumb things like television and Mad magazine in Portuguese and HQ and comics.
Wait, did you say Mad magazine?
Yeah, Mad magazine in Portuguese translated was fantastic.
You're kidding. You know,
Yeah.
Alfred E. Newman of Mad magazine said, the English language is the only language where a double negative is a no-no.
No. Yeah. No.
You know, my favorite book ever is Mad Magazine. More than Finnegan's Wake is Mad Magazine's book.
More than Finnegan's Wake?
Yeah. Snappy answers to stupid questions. Have you ever seen that book?
Never.
Oh, you got to get it. It's Mad Magazine's paperback. Snappy answers to stupid questions.
I will take notes about it. Important to life.
Okay, so is this need or want to collect information more innate or more invented?
More invented, I think so.
Wow, no one says that. Why? Why do you say that? That's great.
Because I think culture have to deny the dead in some way and create that behavior. Yeah. Yes.
That's funny because everybody, I mean, I'm almost ready to stop asking that question. 99% say innate. They just go innate, and they go, why do we collect information? They go, survival. So that's that's similar to denying death. They want to survive.
Okay, that's the first
invented. But in my opinion, everything's invented. Nothing's innate. But we think that eating food is innate. But supposedly there's people who don't eat food. All they do is breathe. They're called breatharians. Yeah, right.
Agree completely.
Yeah, if you believe that, I got some swampland just off the coast. I'll sell you cheap. So anyway, that's a Marx Brothers joke. Okay, so do thoughts create emotions?
Thoughts create emotions. Yes, thoughts create emotions, but emotions create thoughts too.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Yes, but the thoughts, yes. I mean, I don't conceive thoughts as a abstract thing, idealist. No, thoughts create emotions and realities and words and fictions. That is a kind of reality too. So yes, thoughts creates many things.
Yeah. Fill in the blank, Faby. I don't know what I think until I
don't know what I think. Until I die, because I will never know what I am thinking about. It's moving. It's not a stop thing until I die.
That is funny. I don't know what I think until I die. McLuhan says, I don't know what I think until I say it. Joan Didion says, I don't know what I think until I write it. Most people go, I don't know what I think until I do it or experience it. But, you know, a lot of people say dream. There's a million answers. But until I die, you don't know. So you think, so just to go into that, you think after you die, you will be able to know what you think?
No, but until no, not
That's
yet.
funny. That is funny. But what? No. So now suss it out. Why did you say I don't know what I think until I die? What does that mean?
That means that until I die, I will try to search what I am thinking.
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't want to nail it down. You know, that reminds me of Louis Buñuel, the filmmaker. He said,
Good.
I'm for anyone who seeks the truth, but I part ways when they claim they found it.
Yeah, Buñuel is a good guy.
So you're thinking, but you don't want to find what you're thinking about. You just want to keep thinking.
I just keep thinking like a skeptical philosopher. Yeah.
Like a skeptical? What was the word?
Yes. Skeptical, like that philosophers, you know?
A doubting philosopher.
Doubting philosopher, yes.
Yeah, great. Okay. Can humans think without language?
Oh, that's a problem and a polemic question. I can't answer. I can't answer yes, unfortunately. I think we can't think without language. As Wittgenstein said about the limit of the word, but always I am questioning this thing because I'm not sure. Well, Bob Logan said in his book, What's Information, that in the beginning of the humanity, language extended the mind, so they are both born in the simultaneously in the same time, so it's connected. But I can imagine that maybe maybe we can think some escapes, some ways to fly out of this jail. I think it's a kind of jail.
It is. You're right. Yeah.
It is it? Isn't?
Yeah, and you quoting Bob Logan is great because he's one of the only hardcore McLuhanites from Media Ecology who actually read Finnegan's Wake with Marshall McLuhan and will acknowledge that's where Marshall got everything was from Finnegan's Wake and the Symbolist. He basically says, you can't understand me unless you know all Joyce and all the Symbolists. But when you said that simultaneity, that's really, you know, that's really good. So Chomsky says language is not just words, it's culture, tradition, unification of community, a whole history that creates what a community is. Faby, what do you do when language doesn't work? When language breaks down, what do you do?
Oh, when language breaks down, I'm thinking about the words of Chomsky, but it doesn't help a lot. Every time I listen to him, I get little bit nervous, but
Yeah,
okay.
but that's good. But listen, you're trying to teach your students something. They're not getting it. What do? They're
Yes,
you're not getting through to your students by talking.
yeah,
What do you do?
I sing. I sing. Na, na,
That is brilliant. I see.
sing that
I
song.
mean, are you joking or literally?
No, I sing some even some songs without words like da-na-na-na-na-na, like a jazz, to do some improvise like da-dum, da-da-da-da. Woo.
That's good. There's a funny cliche. It goes, if you can't say it, sing it.
Yeah.
If you can't sing it, dance it.
Ah, okay.
Isn't
The next step then. Good.
your observations of humans in general, are we more thinking beings or more feeling beings?
Feeling beings.
Yeah.
Feeling beings. Yes, yes. We are feeling. Even if sometimes feeling is a kind of way to think. Well, I was reading a book about this one very, very huge about David Hume,
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. And this guy told many interesting things about feelings as a kind of logic of thoughts, and I found that amazing because when I read a sentence about by Deleuze, Guattari is very trendy, but it's not the right point that this one get.
Yeah.
This guy is very wise to do that. So I'm going to the in the search and not maybe in the trends. Yeah,
That's good. You mean you like David Hume more than Deleuze and Guattari?
yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
You ever read what's that woman? Camille Paglia. Paglia. You know this. You ever read her?
Mm,
You should check her out because she's been
yeah.
teaching for years, and she's one of the only people in American academia who will say McLuhan's good, like thumbs up. And
Okay.
she disses all those French guys. She just disses them. Deleuze, the Guattari, Derrida, all the trendy. She disses all the trendy ones.
Oh, that's great. All my friends will kill me after this interview, but yes, I have to
That's
tell
good.
the
They'll
truth,
kill me.
what I am feeling, because the your question was about thinking or
Right,
feeling.
right. But here's the thing.
Yeah.
Brigitte Bardot says, when I make love, I don't think. I'm like, good luck. How do you turn your brain off? And then when
Yeah.
people who meditate, they go, okay, now think about not thinking. And there's a bumper sticker on a car in my street and it says, don't believe everything you think. And I say, well, you could say, don't believe everything you feel.
Yes, yes, yes. It's a paradox. Yes, but I like Brigitte Bardot in that way.
Yeah.
Even if maybe we think during making love. So, and
I
it's
know
good.
it.
And
But
it's good too.
it's amazing because we invented the word thinking and we invented the word feeling. So we think we can separate them, but probably you can't. They're
Yeah.
probably so interconnected. But that's why we invent words, so we can pull the wool over our own eyes, so we can, fake ourselves out.
Yeah, I agree. The cart is a guy that separates that things, but the sophists too, a long time ago, separates physis and logos.
Yeah,
So we
yeah. Well,
starting to think in this dualist way, and the Western culture is strongly based on that. Yeah.
Bias. But I wish you could have met Mary Jane Schultz. She's my friend. She just died last year at like late 80s. She hung out with McLuhan, Bucky Fuller, Ivan Illich. And she turned Marshall on to feminism. And she was amazing. And she said and invented a word studying McLuhan called splitteracy. So she said when we invented printed word, we split our right and left hemisphere. So that Marshall was putting that in laws of media. The left hemisphere is linear, the right hemisphere is intuitive. Left is male, right is female. All all the splitteracy. So she spelled it splitteracy with an S and a dollar sign. So the S.
A capitalist thing. Yeah. Good. Very interesting. The symbol and the meaning.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Yeah.
So thank you. 2 questions from Alan Turing in the 50s. One, is thinking a function of the soul?
I think, yes. I think the thinking is kind of a function of the soul, a manifestation of the soul.
That's good. See, I'm for me and you versus the question, the wording. So we're sort of psychoanalyzing the words I choose. And I like that you change the word from function to manifestation. I'm for changing words, anecdotes, stories, tangents. All that is really good. Thank you. Second Turing question is, can machines think?
You will think that I am crazy, but I think, yes, the machine can think.
Yeah.
I will explain to you my thoughts. So, why we as human beings are the only creatures that think in the world that is so anthropocentric thinking. And when I say yes, machines can think, I'm nothing saying about, AI can threaten us and think in the same ways as human being. No, I think machine think in a different way, respect human beings.
Yeah.
Because in kind of way, the machines nowadays are learning, and this is amazing. And this is not a thing to say, oh, they will never be compared with a human intellect. It's not true. They think, but in another way, just like that. Why we are so concentrate in our way to think and to say, no, they don't think, because it's the logic answer that they not think as us. Okay, but we can go further there and to view things in another way.
Yes, very good. Again, you really are articulate and concise, Faby. This is good because, I say machines can think because if you see the movie 2001 by Stanley Kubrick, Hal has feelings and is thinking, but they go, oh, that's fake. That's a movie. But do you know that in 1939, the New York World's Fair first displayed the medium that we're on right now? It's called telephone. It's called Zoom. And that was 39, the same year Finnegan's Wake came out. That's what Joyce invented Zoom and disguised it as a book in 1930.
Fantastic. That's fantastic.
And then when Stanley puts out 2001, and in 1968, that's when Zoom became a reality to a lot of people, because from the spaceship, the guy calls his daughter and wishes her a happy birthday on Zoom. And do you know, you can read in Playboy magazine the interview with Stanley Kubrick, and they go, "Why did you make 2001?" And he said, "To convolate Marshall McLuhan." So he literally said that. Now, Stanley invited Marshall to a pre-release screening, and Marshall fell asleep after 10 minutes.
No. Typically from Marshall, that.
Yeah, he probably woke back up, but it's still a great story. But
Great story.
do you more pursue happiness or more pursue meaning?
Instinctively, happiness. But I think meaning is important, but I think happiness. Yes, it is the first one. I am passionate, so I say happiness.
Because I got that from Viktor Frankl's book, Man's Search for Meaning. He says, happiness doesn't tend to last, meaning tends to last. What do you think of that?
I think it's not true. It's probably wrong.
Give me a high five on that one, man. That's good. Yeah. That's like, yeah, it's not true. He's wrong. No, most people go, that's a great book. Oh, yeah, he's right. But anyways, I'm glad you said that. See,
you have to rewrite this book in other way.
Yeah, you're an independent thinker. You don't go with the crowd. Like if everybody tells you to go jump off a building, are you going to go do it?
No, of course. Good people from the last floor.
If everybody's nuts, you don't have to follow them. Okay. So, yeah. Marshall said you can't prove you're sane unless you have discharge papers from a mental hospital. So, does the brain more detect consciousness or create it? Like, is consciousness there bubbling away and we're more so detecting it or more so creating it?
Creating it.
Yeah.
Yes. creating all the time, because I think observing and this idea to awareness from the outside, it's a lie, it's an illusion. I think we create all the time. Yeah
Really good. What's faster, speed of light or speed of thought?
Speed of thought.
That you didn't even think that was. Yeah, but there's no right or wrong answers, but that one you got right.
Because I had to be faster than the light to prove that.
Well, no, it's evident. We had to think up the speed of light, so we're faster than the speed of light. But everybody says speed of light. That's the funny thing.
Oh, really? No,
well, not everybody. Let's say 70%. 70.
Okay. Yeah. A few people agree with me, but it's not important. When I read about Gabriel Tarde, okay, he's a French guy a long time ago, but he lost the fight in the sociology to Durkheim, because Durkheim triumphed in that years, and Gabriel Tarde, let me show you.
How do you spell Gabriel's last name? Oh, Tarde. Okay.
Tarde. Okay, Tarde. He is a forgotten guy for many years because he talked about thinking in a distant ways in the 19th century. That when the journalists came up and people like Durkheim talked about very linear way to see social relationship, Gabriel Tarde talked about monad, to open the Leibniz monad and that was amazing for that time, because I think that this guy um, creates a kind of way to see communication with kind of telepathy, but not a absurd thing. But before the Wi-Fi, there was a phenomenon happening that he couldn't explain in a very straight way.
Yeah.
So I think that it was good. Yeah.
Yeah. It almost reminded me, Tehil Chardin, Noosphere. You know him at all? He's the
Who?
guy, Tehil Chardin, Chardin.
Yes, of course. Yes, very difficult to read him. Yeah,
Yeah, because
he's
he's
not
like
clear. Yeah.
fluent. He was metaphorically saying there's a cloud surrounding the world, and metaphorically called the noosphere. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, it's up in the cloud. And people are like, what? You know,
Yeah. I think Yuri Lotman, you know, that Russian one, Yuri Lotman,
yeah,
this a guy from cultural semiotics,
yeah,
and he talked about semiosphere
yeah,
too,
yeah,
and was interesting because resounds other good thinkers out of the box.
yeah. I love that telepathy word too. That's good. So Audre Lorde is a poet. She said, you can't dismantle the master's house using the master's tools. Her
Mhm.
colleague Yvonne Rainer said, oh, you can if you expose the tools. What new tool do you suggest? And it doesn't have to be tangible.
Oh, the second part is the best one, not tangible. So I would love to create a tool that can really do a kind of uh, changing in the time space, in the
Oh,
time space. Not
yeah,
a not a time travel machine just, but some tool that can change spaces, landscapes, cities,
yeah,
configurations of the space,
yeah,
of our personal and others too.
yeah. Really good. Because you know where Marshall got his famous line, we shape our tools, then they shape us. You
Ah,
know,
okay.
you know where
Yeah.
he got that from? He got it from Winston Churchill. Churchill said, we shape our buildings, then they shape us. So
Oh,
you want to create a tool that can reshape space, whether it's
space.
a building or open space, whatever.
Yeah.
Amazing. No
Yeah.
one ever answers that way, Faby. They all give me words. I go, what new tool do you suggest? They give me words like compassion,
Oh,
education, or
no. It's not
develop.
a tool. A tool is
Yeah.
to change something in the world. Yeah.
And then now the follow-up is, what toy do you gravitate towards? What new toy do you suggest?
A toy. Yeah. It's very good because kind of ludic thing. Um, a chess with geopolitical stuff. A really yes, a game like a war when we play war games, uh, but simulating things and happening for real, to have
Yeah,
the power to play with reality, geopolitical things in a good way. I
yeah.
know it's dangerous, but it's a toy.
It's worth it. It reminds me of the movie. Have you ever seen Doctor Strangelove by Stanley?
I
If you
heard
have,
it, but
oh,
never
you have
saw.
to, because it's almost like that. It's he was playing a game with a movie that predicted the future of will an atom bomb end the world. And
Oh.
so it's really and it's playful. And so it's a really good answer. What do you worry about when you go to bed at night?
Ah, I'm worried about vulnerable, oldest people suffering in the streets, about cold poverty. In my city, we have many people sleeping under the bridges, and I'm very worried about that and about to can't do many things to resolve this situation. It's hurt me a lot.
That's heavy because my friends, I hang out with the homeless in Venice on the boardwalk, and there are a lot of them are my friends. And some go, well, I don't want to be called homeless. I want to be called houseless because the earth is everyone's home.
Ah, this
And
is
so they're houseless. But then one of them is an activist. She goes, nope, we have to keep the word homeless because that's our brand and people will pay attention. If you start calling them houseless, people don't even know what you're talking about.
that's true too.
But
The
you
both
didn't
sides.
you
Both
didn't
sides.
use the word homeless. So is the word homeless the one that they talked about these people sleeping under the bridge? Do they call them homeless or is there a term that they're called? Is it homeless there or what do you call them?
Here we call them like moradores de rua. It's people that lives in the streets.
That's that's Spanish. What language is that?
Portuguese from
Oh,
Brazil.
Portuguese.
Yeah.
It's Portuguese. How do you spell that word?
Moradores. Moradores. And another word, D-E. And the last one, R-U-A. Moradores de rua.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
heavy. And what
yeah.
do you call them? Yeah, are they homeless in Italy?
In Italy, when I lived in Italy, they called, I think, senza tetto, without a floor, without a roof,
Without a roof.
without a roof. So senza tetto. Yeah.
Wow, that's heavy. See,
Mm-hmm.
that's more like houseless. Houseless. That's amazing.
Housing. Okay. Yeah.
So this is McLuhan learned from Ezra Pound that artists are the antenna of the race. They're broadcasting and detecting the hidden psychic effects of our inventions. So
Mm-hmm.
we might learn how to cope with what we don't like about our inventions. So I ask you the question that Marshall probed his whole career. Why do we ignore the hidden psychic effects of our inventions, even though the artists are broadcasting them to us?
Mm. Because we are not prepared to see, to receive the true, the real things, the sensibility of the
Yeah.
artist. Yeah, I think it's comfortable to us to keep our habits and to stay comfortable and to not see other ways to watch reality. It's comfortable. It's
Yeah.
a lazy way to approach reality, and the habits is so much important to stabilize the status quo in society and so on. I was studying with my professor Lucrecia about pragmatism and Charles Sanders Peirce, and he talked about the habits it's the concepts and the habits creates beliefs and crystallized that in a very hard way, difficult to you know.
To all wake up, to see beyond. You're looking in reality tunnels, like you have a
Yes,
reality tunnel. Yeah,
sure. Well, like that horses that
that's
they
it.
eat this and they can't. Oh, hello.
Do artists have moral obligation?
No.
Wow, right on. This is how everybody answers. But this is how everybody answers. Well, everybody has a moral obligation. Well, I know everybody, but artists are there to function. Artists should make you rethink, and so they might do stuff that's not.
At least artists can do that. I will
Yeah,
not be arrested to say that. I hope, but I think the only people that don't have moral obligations are them, even if it's a
yeah.
difficult thing to live in a society with many rules. But yes, I think
But it's funny because Astor Piazzolla in Argentina, he
yeah.
he changed the tango. So that's the main music of the country is the tango. He changed it, and people would beat him up. They literally beat him up for changing the tango. Then they realize he's an important composer known worldwide. So then they go, we got to put his picture on coffee mugs so we can sell it to tourists. We love him now.
Yes, he did the right thing because ethics changes during the history, so rules too. But of course, I'm thinking in a bizarre, bizarre performance that it's difficult to lead. But
Yeah.
yeah,
You mean bizarre. Is that what you mean?
bizarre,
Bizarre.
yeah. Bizarre,
I like how you say it. Bizarre.
bizarre.
um, here is a question that I'm always curious about. And how many McLuhan books have you read about? Just
Neither one complete. Well,
no, I mean,
I
there's
read.
basically 22. There's but not books about him, not Bob Logan's book about him.
Yeah.
Marshall kind of wrote 22 books. About how many have you read? I'm just curious.
I read about this extension of the
Understanding media, yeah.
understanding media, the laws of media.
Laws
We
of media.
read laws of media. We read during the PhD studies, and I think some chapters from no, just these two
Good.
ones. Yeah,
Good. So
yeah.
that's good. You have a good background at least, because it's hard to read McLuhan. It's as hard as Finnegan's Wake. But the books about McLuhan, you've read Bob Logan and you've read other people's books.
Yes, Lance Strait and Paul Levinson, and about Joshua Meyerowitz, and these guys are great to organize the McLuhanian thinking, and Derek Karkov, great one, yeah.
Yeah, because one is, you ever read Janine Marsuchet, Cosmic Media? Check her out, because very few women write a whole book about McLuhan, and she was taking a break from teaching, and they says, "Oh, write a book on McLuhan." And 10 years later, she delivered Cosmic Media, and she really got McLuhan, and which is hard. It's hard to get McLuhan really. I mean, Bob Logan gets them, Donald Thiel gets them, a few others, McLuhan in Space, that guy. There's a few people who get them, but it's hard. And there's a lot of people who kind of get them, and that's good too. So, and not to sound elitist, but here's McLuhan Everybody experiences far more than they understand. Yet it is experience rather than understanding that influences behavior. Now, I'm going to tell you what I think that means.
Okay.
I could be totally wrong, but I just want to give you an inkling of where we're going with this. If the
Wow.
kid if the kid comes in from the cold weather and the
Mhm.
parent says, "Don't touch the stove, it will
Yeah.
burn your hands." That's experience. If the
Yes.
parent goes, "I'm going to teach you the dynamics of heat. You can put your hands really close to the stove, rub them
Mhm.
together, and your hands will get warm." And
Yeah.
so, what I think Marshall is saying is understanding should shape our behavior more than experience, but experience shapes our behavior more. So it's sort of trying to distinguish, is there a difference between experience and understanding? And
Mm.
is one more influential on behavior? So that's my interpretation. Now I can read the quote again and you can just tell me.
Again, please, please, because I am thinking about
Yeah,
what Marshall said and what you said
you
and
said, yeah,
what I learned about John Dewey. So
yeah.
let's do it again, please.
Here's Marshall. Everybody experiences far more than they understand. Yet it is experience rather than understanding that influences behavior.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Now, I studied I did some research in my PhD program. With, of course, I read some basic things about McLuhan thoughts and others, but especially with pragmaticists. And this sentence is very close to John Dewey about experience because he said that experience guide the learning and not knowledge and understanding guide the word is a difference that makes the difference to talk with our Gregory Bateson, that I call Greg because I love him.
Oh my God, Greg, that is so cool.
Yeah, to me is Greg because he's the love of my life.
Oh
Yes,
my God. And
yes,
you know Nora, right? Do you know Nora, his
yes,
daughter?
I know Nora. She's wonderful, great. I love her, and every time I listen to her, it's a fairy tale because I feel very comfortable in the word. So I think we can learning in the experience. I think this sentence about McLuhan is very wise because it's clear, very clear, but had some kind of mystery in the approach with the reality. uh, I feel that Marshall isn't respond everything in a logical way, but with these aphorisms, he's very nice to catch the spirit of the meaning of this experience, not the meaning of the meaning, as
Yeah.
Ivory Armstrong Richards wrote the meaning of the meanings. And every time I read that, I look at that, and Lance Strait will be angry with me, but I disagree with some ways to see meaning as the most important thing, because reality is most important thing, because world is changing, and McLuhan saw the transformation in the environment. That a very emblematic phrase from him about the medium is the message and not the media. Uh, um, make me thought about environment and not just about television and radio. Yes, of course, television and radio are tools, but the environment that these tools create, that's the point. I think reality is more complex. I agree with the medieval realists like Duns Scotus, you know. I am agree with him, and I am totally against Guilherme de Ockham, William of Ockham, because well, words are not just conventions. We can interfere in reality, but the word is most important than the words. And Michel Foucault thought about this and the things and the words. And but I think McLuhan in this sentence claims about experience to look at the experience changes, because experience changes, but meaning we can stabilize it, a belief, and have some habits, some beliefs stabilize it, but reality never. Reality is going on and having some movements, and that's the very smart piece of McLuhan that I never listened to or read it. Thank you.
Well, you broke it down beautifully, and it really opened up a lot there, Faby. Super cool. One is words evoke more than their meaning. So when you say a word, it's saying more than just what the dictionary says that word means.
Yeah.
And then the other is something we'll get into eventually is poetry. T.S. Eliot said, poetry can communicate before it's understood.
Fantastic.
You don't have to understand it. That's like people think it's same with McLuhan or Finnegan's Wake. You don't have to understand it. Let it just let it wash over you, and you might get an epiphany from it, or you might not. But just carry on.
Just carry on, because interpretations, representations, and words, this we can throw it out.
You almost were singing there again. So are you more afraid of new ideas or more afraid of old ideas?
New and old. I love both, Gerry.
I knew you were going to say that. That's good. I love both.
I love both. I'm not afraid about ideas, because, okay, fascist, we can face that bullshit that is here. We had that, and now you have this one, and it will pass away because we are struggling. So we don't have to be afraid about ideas. We have to play with ideas, to joke, to do some irony about it. You know Mikhail Bakhtin?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He said about carnivalize the idea. To carnivalize that and to destabilize the power.
You got a good vocabulary. You are so fun, because I used to ask this kind of stupid question, but I interviewed Eric. Did you ever meet Eric?
Who? Eric?
Eric McLuhan?
Yes.
Okay.
The father of Andrew.
Yeah, father of Andrew. Yeah. So I interviewed him, and I said, fill in the blank after the word the. So it'd be like, for James Joyce, he would say the wake. And Frank Zappa would say the big note. So it's like a word or two after the word the that sort of summarizes what you're about. And I says, what would Marshall have said? And
Yeah.
he said, the playground. And I said to Eric, what would you say? And he goes, same thing, the playground. But look at how that words evoke more than their meaning. Ground, figure ground, so playground. It was like encapsulating a lot. And it was really beautiful.
That's beautiful. I love that. And I love that the son repeat the father learning and reminding him. Good. Very cool.
So can you conjure up your earliest memory ever, or one of them?
Wow. I don't know if it's a real thing, but well, I think my earliest memory is when I was born. And I don't know if it's a thing that I am remembering or was telling the stories about my grandmother and mother about it. But when I was born, I was in a very difficult way to born, because my mother received the anesthesia, and this paralyzes her from this part from here, and she couldn't breathe, and was a terrible episode. And I think I remember the lights when I came out, but I don't know if it's a dream or if it's a real sensation to burn in this messy way through life and death. And in this way, in this time, my mother stopped to feel the anesthesia, and because they had to choose from me, the baby, or the mother to survive. Yes, it was terrible. And in these seconds, she started to breathe again. So it was a kind of miracle, I don't know. And we both survived. But I think the kinds of lights and messy and shouts and so on. Yeah. It
Amazing. That's really heavy. So is memory more a curse or more a blessing?
I would say more a curse. You know what? Because when I listen to The Doors, Jim Morrison sang "Learn to Forget." Learn to forget. And all the time I heard this song, I think, why learn to forget? So forget is because he took this thing from the William Blake's texts that I read some kind of poetry from them, and oh my, excuse me, okay.
You mean William Blake references something like "Learn to Forget"?
Yeah. Yes.
Wow.
Yes, I don't remember where in the page in the book, but I read this connection and I think, well, this is not a bullshit. This is an important thing. Learn to forget. So forget is interesting because Plato talked about forget things to get some knowledge. So I think remember things, revival, it's good, of course, the love, but we have to go on. So yes,
really good. Yeah, because two things. Joyce put in Finnegan's Wake, remember to forget. He didn't say
No,
said, remember to forget.
that.
And Will, Wyndham Lewis, who's sort of the anti-Joyce, he said, artists live in the present and write a detailed history of the future. So he's saying what Ram Dass taught us, Eastern philosophy, live in the moment, be here now. And that's why everybody, no, now that's why 80% go, is memory more a curse or a blessing? They go, it's a blessing. And then Faby, then they usually go like this. Well, it could be a curse. But it is, most people are brainwashed. They want to believe memory is a blessing. And like you said, of course it's a blessing. We know
Yes,
that.
of course. That's obviously, you have to curse, to lead the curse, to face off this curse, to throw it up and go on. Learn to forget.
Jim Morrison started the Doors right here in Venice, like a mile from here.
I have to go there to greet you and to see this place. So
come to Venice.
Great fun from Jim Morrison, my teenager.
Yeah. So tell me someone within your immediate family who had an impact on you, and what was that impact?
Oh, my grandmother, the mother of my mother, Nonna Bruna. Yes.
What did you get from her? What mainly did you get? How did she influence you?
I got from her a hard head. I don't know the name in English about
stubborn,
stubborn, maybe. Yes, maybe when you don't give up never the things and insist in a thing, you are a
stubborn, or you're confident, you're hard-headed.
Stubborn. Yes. In a maybe sometimes in a negative way. But it was interesting to acquire some confidence, and she was a wonderful woman that passed the Second Great War in Italy working, and she was very optimistic because when I asked Nonna how was that experience, she said, I was young. I dancing and singing, have many boyfriends, and the bombs were terrible. But what we couldn't have to do in that way. It our lives, and we worked and love and singing some song, and that was good. So in my micro history, it was a good thing. So she was a great woman. Yeah.
Beautiful. So well put. I really got a picture of her there, Faby. That was great. Same question outside your immediate family. Someone who had an impact on you, and what was the impact?
Recently, my PhD mentor, Lucrecia D'Alessio Ferrara. She's a very nice epistemology of communication, and she worked with Roland Barthes in the 70s in France.
Oh, she worked with Roland Barthes, yeah.
Yeah, so and she brought to Brazil the books from Umberto Eco, and she thinks every time in a different way, not academic one. And when I read her papers, I felt completely in love because it was a literature, not an academic, scientific, boring stuff. So, and she's very different from mine, Gerry, because I am expensive and educating person, and she's very reserved, very methodological person, methodical, and well, she is very serious, and I bring her some joy, and she bring to me a serious way to study, to research, and she is a friend of Bob Logan, and she presented his book for the first time. So I have to say that Lucrecia and Bob Logan,
Yes.
even if I never met in person, Bob.
Right.
Yeah.
You're really articulate. Again, you painted such a great picture of her. And you can see why you guys have a semiotic relationship. You know, you're playful, energetic. She's serious, but you probably did that. You got
Yes,
together.
did that because, as I said, I am a kind of Dionysiacal outside, and inside I am Apollinian, and she is the opposite.
What's that?
She's
Yeah.
she's very Apollinian and reasonable outside, but inside she is a Dionysiacal person because thoughts, and she's 88 years old, and she is doing a lot of things, much more than me. So
Wow.
amazing. It's amazing.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Did your parents raise you a particular religion?
Yes, they are Catholics from the tradition from Italy, and here in Brazil there are so many of them, and they are kind of yes.
Do you
But
pray? Do you pray?
I have lots of ways to pray, like to embrace a tree, or sing, or write something. I don't believe in a rhetorical pray with words. Yeah.
Yeah. If God does exist, what would you like God to say to you after you die?
I am the walrus. I am the walrus. Because all of my life I asked, wow, which one is this walrus? Oh. So I am the walrus. And get back from where you once belong.
That is really good. Because you know what everybody says, Faby? They
What?
go, you did a good job, or well done.
No.
Yeah, it's like, give me a break. You don't want God to say you did a good
Break.
job, you know.
Maybe go to hell. Not say
Go to hell. That's even better.
no.
Go to hell. You know, you know this joke that the guy gets to hell, and the devil's standing there. Saint Pete's standing there at the gates of hell,
Mhm.
and the guy peeks in, and he
Yeah.
looks, and he goes, "Oh, you have Zoom in hell?" Because he can see a Zoom screen. He says, "You have Zoom in hell," and the devil goes, "That's all we got." Now you can flip it, and it's the other way. You're at the pearly gates of heaven, and you peek in, and you go, "You got Zoom in heaven?" They go, "Yeah, that's all we got."
Oh my God.
It doesn't matter. It's probably the same.
Yes, problem the same. I agree.
Do evil people exist, or does evil use people as a vehicle?
Hmm. That's hard to answer, but I think evil is an interaction with environment and person.
Yeah.
And it's unpredictable. It's not an innate thing or a learning thing. It's a mystery. Yeah.
Yeah. It's really good. And so the real hidden question, Faby, is how do you advise someone to deal with an enemy? Say your friend is being bullied. What do you say to them for advice? But I'll set it up. Couple thinkers. Alan Watts says, if you acknowledge your enemy, you empower them. Coppola stole from the mob and the samurai. Keep your friends close and your enemies closer. JFK said, forgive your enemy, but don't forget their name. And Fellini says, I need an enemy. So it's a lot of thoughts. The basic question is, how do you advise someone to deal with an enemy? But first, how would you respond to Alan Watts? If you acknowledge your enemy, you empower them.
I don't agree with Watts about that. If you ignore, I am more about Fellini. Could you repeat the last one, please?
Fellini says, I need an enemy.
Yeah, yes, I need the enemy. I remember, yes, we have to love our enemies in a passionate way, because I remember when I was writing my PhD dissertation, I read the notebooks from Antonio Gramsci.
Yeah.
So he wrote that every time he asked about to read some papers from Reale. There is a guy from the other side, from the fascist, the Nazis guys, and he asked that, and people said, why do you want to read this guy? He's our enemy. He's killing you inside the prison. Why? Because I need, he answered, because I need to read my enemies. I need to communicate with the other side of the moon. Yeah.
That's the only way you're going to learn, is if you understand your enemy. There's a couple there. American Indians, indigenous, say your enemy's your best teacher. So you have to learn from your enemy, and you have to find the commonality, because then it's like the next step is, Faby, what do you do about an enemy? Like you catch an enemy, they do something wrong. Like, the big word now is accountability. And Nassim Taleb said, games were created to give non-heroes the illusion of winning. In real life, we don't know who wins or loses, but we can tell who a hero is. And Gregory Bateson says, if the criminal gets caught, does he go, oh, my criminal skills weren't up to snuff that day? Or does he go, I did something morally and socially wrong? Yeah. So, we don't know what the criminal believes. We just think, does punishment work is the question. What do we do about it? Rehabilitation, punishment? What is the solution?
Meanwhile, you are talking about that, I thought about Oswald de Andrade. That is a guy, a writer, poet, Brazilian one. After that, I can write the name for you, Oswald de Andrade.
Yeah.
And he, in the 20s, he proposed to devour the enemies in a metaphorical way. Yeah. But our indigenous people, during the discovering of the America and the Brazil, they ate a priest here for real. Yeah, for real. And this guy, Oswald de Andrade, remind that thing as an important thing to our culture, and bring that to the arts, incorporating and devouring all of our enemies, about imperialism,
Yeah.
capitalism, Europe, influence from America, and was an interesting thing to think in our days. And answer your question, I don't believe in any of punishments. No,
No. Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
no. Yes, because it's a disciplinary way to keep warm people and safe and don't recover minds or bodies or behaviors, as Michel Foucault said. And vigilance and punishment, it's a kind of disciplinarizing. Uh, what is the solution? So I don't know. Maybe devour in a more metaphorical way our enemies.
Yeah. That is so beautiful. Now, how do you spell Oswald's last name?
Okay, the last name is Andrade, Andrade.
Great. Now that was
Fantastic. This guy was forgotten for many years, and now is coming back because we have to recover some primitive feelings to face this very nominalistic word and the right wing that we have now. So
so well put. You're really teaching me a lot. I'm so grateful because I want to throw this one in because you use the word metaphor. You know,
yeah,
Marshall had that great, all these cute quotes. You know, he dropped quotes all the time, and me and you are dropping
yeah.
quotes, aphorisms. And Marshall taught us don't just settle for the aphorism and what you get from that, reinvent it. So Marshall took Robert Browning's
Yeah.
man should man's reach should exceed his grasp, or what is heaven for? And Marshall said it, our reach should exceed our grasp, or what is a metaphor? So he was making a joke, but the word metaphor is so important to Marshall because he said all words are metaphorical. So
Ah,
my question to you is, if all words are metaphorical,
yeah.
what is the word literal a metaphor for? Trick question, Faby.
Wow, that's trick. Mm, can you repeat the end of your question,
Yeah,
please?
like metaphor
Okay.
itself
Yeah.
means something different, like a compare, like between. We're trying to
Yeah.
figure out.
Okay.
Okay, then the word literal. So all words are metaphor.
Literal. Okay.
Yeah.
I do. I got it.
So the word literal is a metaphor for what?
The literal is a metaphor for metaphor.
That
It's
is
a
a
meta language.
literal is a metaphor for literal. Yeah, literal is a metaphor for metaphor. Yeah,
Metaphor.
yeah.
Meta. And that's no end because it's a recursive.
It's recursive. It's like the snake eating its tail,
Yeah.
or it's
Ouroboros.
center without margins.
Yes, it's a eternal return, kind of.
Museum without walls.
Museum without walls. Ah.
It's called Vico. Vico.
Vico,
Vico.
Vico. Okay.
Vico's fourth step is ricorso. Yeah.
Wow.
So,
Fantastic. I'm learning a lot too.
yeah, but that's where Joyce got the whole wake from, is Vico, or it helped him get it. Dante, Vico, all those. Okay, so now here's the other one, Faby. You got to hear this. I've been
Yeah.
asked that question, and two answers are really amazing. What is the word literal a metaphor? Guy goes, letter. The letter is what
Yeah.
we put down. We put a letter down on a piece of paper and
Mhm.
spell a word. That's what literal means, letter.
Wow.
literal letter.
Letter.
But let
Wow.
but here was another one. What is literal metaphor? Light. Light.
Wow, that's huge.
That's
That's
huge because Marshall says that thing, the electric light is all
yeah.
that is not information, or what does he say? I always get
Yes,
confused.
yes, I remember that. Yes,
Yeah.
about energy.
In
Mm-hmm.
fact, last week's New York Times had this huge article about people in North Carolina trying to
Yeah.
survive the hurricane.
Yes.
And he started bringing up all this McLuhan stuff, and it was like so good to
Oh, good.
bring it up in a typical new panic mode that we're all in, like
Yes.
what do? You sit in your house, no internet, nothing. The guy
Yeah.
said, you know what he did? He drank booze and read poetry.
Fantastic. Yes,
That's just,
because of that, I had that kind of stuff. Because
yes, a lantern.
yes, with kerosene it works.
Kerosene, yes. How cool is
Like
that?
you put that here, the fire here in this,
That's
and
old school.
yes, very old school. But here in my city, when rain a lot and get some storms, we have to use that all the time.
Yeah. So James Joyce was the first projectionist using something like your lantern in Italy. I mean, excuse me, in Dublin. He was
I love
showing it. He was showing Italian films in Dublin 100 years ago. He ran
oh,
the movie theater, and
fantastic.
he basically checked out. He said, "This is stupid. Why should I go inside a building and see a movie of a tree when I can go outside and see a real tree?" And
Yeah.
years later, William Faulkner said sometimes the best fiction is more true than journalism.
Mm.
Why do we have to recreate things in order to get them, in order to understand them? Why do we have to go to a theatrical play of
Yeah.
people acting out life? Why don't we just live life?
Because the meaning of the things is obsolete and the spirits go ahead. So I think a meaning is every time getting obsolete and old, and we have to recreate things because of that. Yeah.
But you're saying the word meaning is obsolete. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, the meaning of things are obsolete. We have to invent new meanings.
New meanings and new things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now, what are you studying in high school? Where's that tipping point for you? Let's start with poetry. Where's that tipping point where you wanted to be a poet? Are you reading poetry in high school and college and you go, I want to be a poet? Or were you listening to Jim Morrison lyrics? Where was your,
True.
where, yeah, where's that tipping point where you go, oh, that's what I want to do is write poetry?
Yes, both music and reading poets from the romantic movement from Brazil and gut, the turning point, gut. So Werther by Gut. When I read that, and Álvaro de Campos was a Brazilian poet that imitates romantic German movement on literature. I read that and I listened some music like the Doors, Pink Floyd, and I tried to translate these songs and to know about the meanings, what mean, but especially during my high school. I went out of the classes to hiding me in the library into the school to get some other offers and not that standard ones that the teachers teaching, because they are cliche. And into this library, we've got many things about Indian poets or Brazilian or indigenous that never came into the school's books, you know?
What
Yeah.
age? What age did you move from Italy to Brazil?
I was born in São Paulo, Brazil, and I moved to live in Italy for a couple of years. And I came back to Brazil and go to Italy again and again for 7, 8 times to work and to live by myself there. Yeah. And I
But
came back.
mainly you're a Brazilian and you've lived in Brazil most of your life.
Yes, yes. Now, and my life is here. Yeah, yeah.
I see. You're a Brazilian. So, did you go to high school in Brazil?
Yes, I got high school in Brazil, and I came to Italy after college to work on the beach, just to
Yeah.
learn the language.
But you're when are you writing poetry? You're studying it and translating. Where did you go? Oh, I can do that. In high school? You're writing poetry?
Yes, I used to have a diary, a
Oh,
hiding diary.
yeah.
And when I felt sad or madly falling in love, I woke up during the night and wrote some poetry by myself, and was a great thing. And the biggest influence were the concrete poets from São Paulo, from my city, from my city.
Oh,
Three of them, they were colleagues of Lucrecia, my mentor, and they founded the program, the post graduation program in my university, because they are very interesting guys doing concrete poetry with just putting words and mixing publicity and Warhol and Oswald de Andrade all in together, and influences from Italy, but catching from and mixing something in a Brazilian way. We
yeah.
don't have a way, we observe ways about everything. And these three guys, Haroldo de Campos was a great guy. He translated Dante in Brazil. Haroldo de Campos, he passed away a long time ago. Augusto de Campos is the brother of Haroldo. He's alive and doing poetry, concrete poetry on Instagram. He's great. He
Wow.
put words in a graphic way, and I tried to do that with collage with my hands. And I love to do calligraphic things with my hand. I don't like to type in computer, and I love the typewriter. I kept Olivetti from the long time ago, and I love to feel the strongness when I type with angry, you know. And sometimes when I type on my computer to write some papers to media ecology or so on, my father passes close and say, "What are you doing?" Because I'm
You can play music by hitting the keys on a typewriter too. It's like
yeah,
who I love is Milton Nascimento.
yes, for
Oh
sure.
my God, that album he did with Herbie Hancock. So, Faby, I asked for 90 minutes, so I hope we can do a part 2 somewhere down the line so we can get into semiotics and all this other stuff. But can you
Good.
stick around for another 10 minutes? Can you
For
do another?
sure. I am all yours today.
Hubba. So let's try this one. A screenwriting teacher told me great art is when you can clearly see the intention of the maker. Stanley
Ah,
Kubrick says the opposite. Great art is when you can clearly not see the intent.
ah,
What
okay.
role does intention play when you're writing a Faby poem? It's not an assignment for class. It's not academic writing.
Uh-huh.
It's just solely a poem for Faby. What
Yeah,
role does intention play?
the intention play mm, 0% role in my in my heart. Yeah. Because freedom is to not have an intention, an audience, worries about judgment. So to do whatever you feel and express something, not yourself. Oh, I'm expressing myself. No, I am expressing something strange that came up and changed things. And it's not a ego or super ego. No, that's bullshit.
That is so heavy because Duchamp said there's no art without an audience. How much are you thinking of your
Okay,
reader when you're writing your poem?
okay. Duchamp is right. There is no art without audience. There is, but Derrida said that we can communicate, just communicate without destinatory, without a destiny. We can do things just for us as audience. And okay, it's a selfish, yeah, kind of. But if we cannot think about audience to do something, because today in the publicity propaganda everyone think about a target, an age, gender, to achieve, and that's horrible to art. I think we don't have to think about audience. We have to design, to make, to be blind about ourselves as an audience, and to make, just make.
Really good. It reminds me of the other Duchamp quote. I love this. Well, there's several.
Yeah.
The Duchamp quote I love is there's no solution because there's no problem.
Oh, that guy is
And
very,
then the other one is you're at a cocktail party, with the Duchamp, and you go, you don't know him, and you go, oh, so what do you do? Like, what's your job? And he goes, I'm a breather. I breathe. And I'm like, hey,
I'm a breather.
I'm a breather too. We have something in common. And then,
Fantastic. The next time I will go to some nightclub, and
yeah,
when someone are asking about, I'm a breeder.
yeah.
Yes,
You
it's
got to
a
be careful.
important job.
Yeah, you got to be careful because they hear it sometime as breeder, like breed, BREED.
Yeah,
You got to
definitely.
make sure they say breather, breathing.
Breeder.
Yeah. But
Okay.
the other Duchamp is I'm going to contradict myself so I don't conform to my own ideas. That is so good.
Great. That's
That,
good. That's
that
good.
I mean, he
I
just
love that.
yeah.
Yeah,
But
that's good.
Marshall said that everything we invent extends some humanness or human sensorium. So knife and fork extends our teeth.
Yeah.
Shutter in a camera, a projector extends our eyelid. And
Mm-hmm.
maybe non-tangible, say religion or philosophy, extends consciousness. What does the writing utensil extend for you when you're writing a poem, whether it's with a pen or a keyboard? What does the writing utensil extend? What humanness?
My brief. My brief.
Oh, your breath. Oh my
Breath. My
God.
breath.
That's
My
good.
breath. My breath. My breath are my pain. It's sad, but my
Pain, pain.
pain. Yeah,
Yeah. No, you
yeah.
would love this guy in Italy who ran the Dante Reading Club. Really
What?
great guy. I got to introduce you to him. I says, what does the writing utensil extend? He says, my tears. you know,
Tears.
my
Oh,
tears. But it is beautiful because um,
beautiful.
you we don't know about this flip on McLuhan hasn't been explored enough. It's called biomimicry. And it's when
Biomimicry. You okay?
biomimicry is when humans imitate nature.
All right.
So we didn't have to invent mirrors. We could just go to the water, the river, and look at ourselves in the reflection. But you can't carry a river around in your back pocket, and people think they got to carry a mirror around.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so we imitate, like the
Mhm.
guy who invented Velcro. It's in a
Yeah.
plant, and so we imitate, and that's almost the opposite of
Yeah.
Marshall saying we're extending something human,
Mhm.
makes these things
Mhm.
in nature. We can pull it out of nature, and it's already there. We just imitate
Yeah.
it. So it's that
Mhm.
Narcissus is Narcosis chapter in Understanding Media. He really dives into that. But
Okay.
Faby, here, let's close out with this one and then we'll plan a part two. This has really been fun. So, when I
Okay.
said earlier, Louis Buñuel said, I'm for anyone who seeks the truth, but I
Uh-huh.
part ways when they claim they found it. Most people go, oh, I love that. And then one guy said to me, that's bullshit. Because if I'm going to seek something, it's because I want to find it. And so I morphed it into this question.
Mhm.
If the journey is more important than the destination, why do we have to seek or name a destination?
Mm, the journey and the destination. Well, I guess the most important thing between the journey and the destination is the montage, is
Yeah.
the configuration, that it's not a journey to achieve a destination, that is a linear way of thought to reach some goals and results. Don't satisfy myself. I think the montage, like Einstein or Walter Benjamin taught and say about a dialectic of the immobility. So that is a strange thought about constellations, and what is about how we can organize and configure life experience and knowledge, and not a journey in the history. Willem Flusser, that guy, he lived along here in Brazil. I think he's from Prague, a Jewish thinker, and he say about the post history in a world that is most important to the superficie, the surface, and not the deep things, deep meanings, but the surface is important. And in that surface, we have to do some montage, configuration. Semiotics is about configuration. It's not about, oh, this meaning and things connected. No, it's not about that. It's about configurations and ways to see, to show, and to live. So I think during this montage that the artists do, but common people have to do in everyday life some montage where I can put my water and where I can. Well, it's a question of to play play in the ground,
Yeah.
and I think the during this montage, the most important thing is the drift. You know about the drifts? The
Wait,
drifts.
DRIFT?
Yeah, yeah.
Wow, drift.
Drift. The drifts are most important than the journey and
Yeah.
then the destiny, because word let us to do something. We are not the boss of this montage completely. Because of that, the ecology of the media ecology is put together thing, as Greg Bateson said, the sacred union, the sacred union, in my view, is how we can put things together with others, and dealing with others' intentions that we can't control. Yeah.
Really well put, Faby. You're the best, man. Because
Uh,
you evoked mosaic writing. That's what Marshall called mosaic writing, putting those pieces
Mosaic, yeah.
mosaic in montage with Einstein. James Joyce was going to make a film of Ulysses with Einstein, and even before
Brecht,
Eisenstein, excuse me,
Einstein.
before Eisenstein was Ziga Vertov. You ever see Man with the Movie Camera?
Ah,
Yeah,
yes.
that's heavy. But what's the spelling on the Jewish Prague guy who lived in Brazil? You were just saying.
Yes. Okay. This guy is absolutely interesting. And let me see if I have some book on him. He is villain like this.
Oh, VILEM
And
FLUSSER. Good.
Yes, it's really interesting. And in the last weeks, I did a meme for Facebook with his image and saying something like, "Let the no follow the flusser, follow the
Follow the
flusser."
flusser. Oh my God.
Yeah,
That's good. Because the other thing is, most people, when I say the journey is more important than the destination, why do we have to name or seek a destination?
Mhm.
Most people go, because you have to have a focus. And I'm like, no, you don't, because the people in France in the 20s, Hemingway, Picasso, they just were slackers, and they sat at the coffee house and drank coffee and just chilled out. And Joyce was the main one, and he said, you can find an epiphany in everydayness.
Perfect. In
And
a
and then
daydream, you can find it.
daydream, and then Benjamin picked up on it, and he called it flaneurs.
Flowers.
It's called
Yeah.
psychogeography.
Yeah.
You just wander around, and you will, if you're got
Yeah.
your eyes open, you will have epiphanies in everydayness.
Do you remember the international situationist?
Oh yeah.
The Yeah, they're fantastic to catch these drifts and to joke and to play and to show that the city is not programmed. Yeah,
That's
fan-
Guy Debord. He said,
Be the
underneath, yeah, underneath the cement, there's an ocean.
Yes, there's an
Okay,
ocean.
Faby, you're the best. I know after we make our first film together, we'll win an Oscar so we can finally
Yeah,
meet each
let's do that. Yes, fantastic.
other. I really appreciate your time and energy. I can't wait for part 2, and we'll do a project together soon.
Me
And
too.
thank you so much. And even though I'm going to hit the end broadcast button now, I hope this never ends and we can keep talking forever
Never.
and ever, and singing
Never,
too,
never.
singing and dancing forever and ever.
Learn to forget. Yeah.
Bye-bye. Love you.
Bye bye. Thank you very much, Gerry. Have
Thank
a good
you.
evening. Thank you.